Yeah, that was great. Brock, all those young guys has given us quality starts, good outings, and competing out there, and they're really growing. And this is definitely a crash course. Nice immersion into the big leagues. But yeah, tonight Brock was sharp, competed like he does, and scattered some hits. And after the fifth inning, I felt that was all he had for me. And at that point in time, I just matched up guys, and credit to the guys in the bullpen, the back end, really doing the job for us tonight.
You just told me that he battled. What did you see as far as the battling was concerned, and how do you think he got around it?
I think it's just more of just trying to compete, and it wasn't where he had his best stuff. I think that the fastball life wasn't the same way it was against the Cubs, and the breaking ball wasn't as sharp. There were some good ones and some good fastballs as well, but I think that as a pitcher, just not having your A stuff, it's one of those things where you really got to execute, and he did that tonight, and he competed, and, for us, 5 innings for Brock to give us and to hand it over to the bullpen for him to get his first major league win, so I know he and his family are pretty excited.
Taking full advantage of the expanded rosters, kind of going one guy per batter. Just your thought about being able to have all those arms.
Well, you know what? It's one of those things where, you have the arms available to you, and it's nice to get everybody involved. Obviously, you don't want to get everyone, but I think that, even getting JP, getting Louis Coleman to get a hitter, Chavi to try to go 1+, it was a team effort, and I think that for me, I like the matchups. I like the guys in the bullpen going up against certain guys in their lineup.
Dave, how tough is it to put the go-ahead run on base and then see Dayton have to face Weeks?
Yeah, you know what? It's one of those things. I think that every team has a certain guy that you don't want to let beat you, and maybe not every team, but Goldschmidt, for me, is that guy, obviously, and he's beat us before. So I think it's one of those things before a series. There's certain guys you don't want to beat you, and, Goldie's one of those guys. So, I knew that there was a possibility they'd hit for Lamb, but for me to get Dayton with the high fastball and even the matchup up against Weeks, or if they would have left Lamb, I felt comfortable with that matchup. And, Chavi was out there, but I still, rather not let Goldie beat us.
When Dayton struck out Weeks, the dugout erupted as if it was, the final out of the World Series. How intense is it right now for this club, and just kind of seeing what the Giants did? And it seems like everyone's kind of hanging on every pitch. Yeah, you know what? There is a little emotion. Grant's pitched. I think he came from A-ball this year, and really his ascension and the spot that I put him in a lot of high leverage situations, but he seems to always, come out on the other end, on the other side. And, this is just one of those things where everyone is really in tune with every pitch, and there's the emotion. Obviously, every pitch is important. So this is kind of getting into that playoff mode.
The decision to bring Grant Dahl in the ninth inning to catch for Kenley, is Ruiz not yet ready to catch Jansen?
Well, it was. I just felt that, obviously Yasmani's got a lot of familiarity with him, and then with a 2-run lead, and Yasmani was going to hit going forward if something got crazy in the 10th inning, if there were 10th inning. So I think that there was a lot of reasons why. Those are the reasons why I felt good about having Yasmani back there.
In the case of Adrian Gonzalez in the 8th, you didn't want his batting, you wanted his defense, isn't it?
Yeah, I wanted his defense in there, and I wanted to give Adrian a day off against a left-hander, and so I felt that I wanted Seguin to get that at bat, and then obviously Adrian's a Gold Glove first baseman, so with the lead you want to tighten up the defense as much as you can.
Dave, what do you think about the atmosphere and how you guys are playing right now? You start to get a little excited about adding Kershaw to that even here.
Absolutely. I think that we're excited for us as a team, but I think that we're excited for Clayton too. It's been a season of highs and lows, and for him to watch his teammates for the last 2.5 months has been very difficult, and so the anticipation to get him back on Friday, we're very excited.
Do you start to feel like it's maybe a glimpse of your postseason roster should you get there?
I think that we're just pretty excited to get Clayton and then get Rich going, and then obviously Maeda. So it's starting to shape up the way we envisioned.
You're not allowed to say when you clinch.
you feel comfortable with the division lead?
Well, I feel more comfortable today than I did yesterday, and so hopefully I feel even better on Friday.
Dave, when you consider how the seventh went, how big was Yasiel's tack-on run, the ball that he has crushed, and what's different about him now?
You know what? I think Yasiel, it was obviously a big hit for us, and for him to stay back and stay through that breaking ball and hit it over the fence, it was good for his confidence, and also to pick up another RBI early, it was good for his confidence. And I think just, Yasiel can do so many great things, but I think that situational at bat early in the game helped his confidence too. But when you can start him against a left-hander and have certain guys like Reddick and Utley and Peterson and on the bench, Tolles, we've got some depth certainly.
Dave, did you get an update on Casimir, his rehab start, and does that setback mean that Haley will get another start here?
I did hear. I heard a little bit about Casimir. There was some issue with his oblique or rib or something. I don't know the details, but I know that it was only 2/3 of an inning, and he's going to be flying back to Los Angeles and get it looked at. But obviously that makes more sense and most likely gives Jose an opportunity in New York.
On a more positive note, Andre played what seems like a full game today. What are the odds we see him back here within the next week on the road trip?
I think they're pretty good. You know what? And I'm going to stand by saying what I said initially is I'm going to leave it in Dre's court and just trust that, with the respect that I have for him and knowing his body, his swing, I know he's encouraged. So I just, again, just let him know that whenever he feels he can help us in any way, we'd love to have him back. We can't wait. All right, guys.